Okay, students. So today we will learn the working of IC 555 timer stable with 50% duty cycle. So IC 555 timer can be used to generate a rectangular waveform at the output terminal. The duty cycle of this output rectangular waveform can be controlled by using externally connected resistance R and capacitor C. Now let us see what is the meaning of duty cycle and what is its importance. So duty cycle gives information about the symmetricity of the rectangular wave. A rectangular wave with 50% duty cycle looks like a very much symmetric square wave. What is the meaning of symmetric square wave? So in case of symmetric square wave, the width of this pulse is similar to width of this pulse. It means that the waves are very much symmetric. The percentage duty cycle is defined as the ratio of TH, which is the width here, to the T. T means the total time period. So D is TH upon T into 100. So this is how a percentage duty cycle is defined as. So let us see with an example how to calculate a duty cycle for a given waveform. So figure shows the waveform obtained onto the CRO. So x-axis shows the time-based division of the CRO, which is in millisecond here. Y-axis shows the volt per division on the CRO. So let us try to calculate the duty cycle for the given waveform. We can see that this waveform is non-symmetric. TH is much smaller than TL. Let us try to calculate the duty cycle for this waveform. Okay, here you can see that this TH is one complete unit, so it is 1 millisecond, and total time period is from this point to this point, so this is 1 millisecond and 2 milliseconds, so total time period is 3 millisecond. So when you will substitute into this formula, so 1 millisecond divided by 3 millisecond, so it comes out to be 33%. So the duty cycle of this asymmetric waveform is 33%. Now let us see the next example. We can see that here TH is 2 millisecond, TL is also 2 millisecond, so this is very much symmetric. So let us try to calculate the duty cycle for this. So again let us substitute into the formula. So TH is 2 millisecond divided by total time period, which is 2 millisecond plus 2 millisecond, so 4 millisecond. So 2 millisecond divided by 4 millisecond into 100, so this gives you 50% duty cycle. So 50% duty cycle square wave is a symmetric square wave. Let us now try to understand how 555 timer stable circuit can be used to give a square wave with 50% duty cycle. Now this is the stable working. I would like to suggest the viewer to please go through my previous video, that is video 1, to understand the working of IC 555 timer as an unstable multivibrator. So IC 555 timer as an unstable multivibrator gives this formula. So T high is 0.693 Ra plus Rb into C. This indicates that charging of this capacitor happens through Ra, Rb and C, and T low is the time during the discharging of the capacitor. The formula is 0.693 Rb into C, which gives you the discharging which happens through C, Rb and this transistor, and total time period is 0.693 Ra plus 2 Rb into C. Now if you try to calculate the duty cycle for 555 timer unstable circuit, so after substituting TH and total T, the formula comes out to be Ra plus 2 Ra plus Rb divided by Ra plus 2 Rb into 100. Now if we try to get 50% duty cycle from this formula, one method is you substitute Ra equal to 0 in both the places. So when Ra becomes 0, the duty cycle becomes Rb divided by 2 Rb. So Rb will get cancelled out, and finally you will get 1 by 2 into 100. Now the problem with this arrangement is when you make Ra equal to 0, so the discharge transistor will directly get current, very high current from the VCC, and it may destroy the circuit. So we do not use that method where we make Ra equal to 0. So there is alternate method of generating square wave with 50% duty cycle using IC555 timer without making RA equal to 0 is just by connecting one diode having very small forward bias resistance in parallel with resistance RB. So now this was the circuit diagram of IC555 timer connected in unstable mode. The modification required to get 50% duty cycle is just we connect one diode having small forward bias resistance in parallel with RB. So this is what the modified version to get 50% duty cycle with unstable mode. Let us now try to analyze this operation of this circuit. So initially when the power is just switched on, there is no charge on the capacitor, so voltage across the capacitor is 0, and we assume that initially Q is 0. So when Q is 0, the base of the transistor becomes low. As base of the transistor becomes low, this transistor is as good as if this is not connected. So this is not conducting only. So when this is not conducting, the current will start flowing from this VCC towards RA, and then after reaching to this point, current has two paths, one to go through RB and another to go through this diode. Now current will choose that path where the resistance is minimum. So since RB is 10 kilo ohm, the forward bias resistance we have selected in such a way that its resistance is few hundred ohms. So current will choose this path and it will go towards this. So current is going through this diode and this capacitor, and capacitor then starts charging. So when capacitor charges, voltage across the capacitor increases exponentially as soon as voltage across the capacitor and hence voltage at pin number 6 becomes slightly greater than 2 VCC by 3. Upper comparator gives high output, as becomes 1, Q becomes 1. At the same time lower comparator gives low output, Q bar becomes low. Since Q becomes 1, so base of the transistor now becomes high. As base of the transistor becomes high, base emitter becomes forward bias, and now this transistor will start conducting. Now as soon as this transistor start conducting, the capacitor will now start discharging. Now while discharging, it can discharge through RB and it can discharge through diode. But since the reverse bias diode has very high resistance, so discharging will happen through RB only and then through transistor. So this is the discharging path of the capacitor. Now when capacitor discharges, voltage across the capacitor decreases exponentially as soon as the voltage across the capacitor becomes slightly less than VCC by 3. The lower comparator gives high output, at the same time upper comparator gives low output. So Q becomes low, Q bar becomes high. As Q becomes low, base of the transistor becomes low, and base emitter is not forward bias, so transistor is as good as if it is not conducting. So since transistor is not conducting, again the capacitor will start charging, and as it charges, voltage across the capacitor increases exponentially. As soon as voltage across the capacitor becomes slightly greater than 2 VCC by 3, 2 VCC by 3, S becomes 1, Q becomes 1, base of the transistor becomes 1. Now base emitter is forward bias. Again transistor start conducting and capacitor start discharging. So and these cycles are then repeated. Now if you plot the capacitor waveform and output waveform, so we can see that here charging time and discharging time, they are almost same. It is because the charging of the capacitor is happening through RA and this diode. So RA is 10 kilo ohm and diode has very small few hundred ohm forward bias resistance. So T high is 0.693 RA into C, and discharging happens through RB, which is again 10 kilo ohm, and then forward bias resistance of this transistor. So the T low, which is the time of the output during which capacitor was discharging, is 0.693 RB into C. It is because the capacitor is discharging only through RB and this transistor. So now here we can see that the charging time is through RA, this diode and capacitor, and discharging time is RB and this transistor. So charging time is almost same as the discharging time, and therefore the output time period, output square waveform is almost symmetric.